But every day is a recovery, and just trying to keep a positive attitude.
Adam Stone has been a cop in Arlington for 30 years. He loves the job, and he's now doing his best to help others by telling his story.
You're taking medication.
I am.
You're getting counseling.
Yep.
And you're still on the job.
Still on the job. And
Because you can do it.
Because I can do it.
9/11 was a trigger for his mental crisis. Stone rushed in to help save lives. But he says the destruction, his own personal problems, and sexual abuse as a child all left him struggling.
I walked into the bathroom with the pistol, and could almost feel the end of the pistol at my head and visually see myself pulling the trigger and falling on the floor.
There's not much on the boards besides the incident from last night.
Police officers right now are far more likely to die at their own hand than at someone else's. Far more likely to die by suicide than by heart attack or traffic accident. It is the #1 issue for the new president of the International Association of Chiefs of Police.
I have more confidence in a police officer who asks for help and gets it than a police officer who needs help and doesn't ask.
Suicide rates have been climbing for all Americans, but experts say the problem is particularly acute for police officers. Their chronic exposure to death, trauma, and crisis makes them especially vulnerable. But of the 18,000 police agencies around the country, fewer than 5% have suicide prevention programs for their officers.
Back in 2010, I realized that certain things in my life have accumulated, and I went and sought help.
After the suicides of several of his officers, Fairfax County's chief made prevention a huge priority, with full-time in-house counselors and a commitment that a broken brain will be treated much like a broken bone.
You struggled with mental health issues yourself, and it didn't keep you from becoming chief of police.
Every day is my struggle. Everyone struggles. You just have to admit it. There's no shame in it.
New York City is among the communities hit hardest. 9 suicides so far this year, including a deputy chief. But psychologist and retired NYPD detective Thomas Coughlin remembers how reaching out for help saved one of his patients.
You know, if it wasn't for you and if it wasn't for this program, my son wouldn't have a father and he would never know me.
For my time at Ground Zero.
Retired Norfolk investigator Chris Scallon was in D.C. getting an award for National Police Officer of the Year when he considered suicide. Years of crime scenes and shootings had pushed him over the edge.
I mean, you physically took the gun out
Yeah.
and pointed it at yourself.
Right in my mouth. Take the whole barrel.
Scallon changed his mind just before pulling the trigger, ashamed of what his friends might think of him if he had gone through with it. He says the message here is clear. Peer support, police chaplains, counseling. We can save lives.
I'm no more embarrassed of my diagnosis than I would be if I had cancer. No, I'm just not.
It's just a health issue.
Yeah.
You can get better from that.
You can absolutely.
In Arlington, Officer Stone says his police department has done a lot to help him too. And he's convinced the crisis has made him a better, more empathetic police officer.
The biggest message that I can put out is number 1, there's help available. Number 2, you're going to get through it.
It is a message that more and more departments are now working on. In Arlington, Bruce Leshan, WUSA 9.